First, thank you for coming. We hope you continue to come and you enjoy the experience of our Everyday Sunday program. Please forgive me. Actually, this morning after I woke up, my throat is a little bit sore. So if I stutter or just break up while speaking, please forgive me about that. So we'll just quickly sing 𝗷𝗯cie prayers. And today's verse is chapter 12, text 8. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So we'll be reading from Srimad Bhagavad-Gita as it is. Hare Krishna. Mayeva mana adatsva. Mayeva mana adatsva. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Nivashishyasi mayeva. Ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Any apologies?
Manayeva manadatsva. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Nivashyasi mayeva. Ata urdhvam na samshaya. Mayeva manadatsva. Mayi buddhim niveshaya. Nivashyasi mayeva. Ata urdhvam na samshayaha.
Hare Krishna. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Srila A.C. Bhakti Swami Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.
Mai upon me. Eva. Certainly. Manaha. Mind. Adatsva. Fix. Mai upon me. Buddhim. Intelligence. Niveshaya. Apply. Nivashishyasi. You will live. Mai in me. Eva. Certainly. Ataha urdhvam. Thereafter. Na. Never. Samshayaha. Doubt. Translation. Just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. Purport. One who is engaged in Lord Krishna's devotional service lives in a direct relationship with the Supreme Lord. So there is no doubt that his position is transcendental from the very beginning. A devotee does not live on the material plane, he lives in Krishna. The holy name of the Lord and the Lord are non-different. Therefore, when a devotee chants Hare Krishna, Krishna and his internal potency are dancing on the tongue of the devotee. When he offers Krishna food, Krishna directly accepts these eatables, and the devotee becomes Krishnaized by eating the remnants. One who does not engage in such service cannot understand how this is so. Although this is a process recommended in the Bhagavad-Gita and in other Vedic literatures. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnana-jana-shalakaya Chakshurumilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya-manavishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Tadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yudapadakaram Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Saharana Raghunatham Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Saharana Shri Vishakam He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deenabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namaste
Taptakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishvanusude Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripasindhubhyo cha Patyanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasari Gaura Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you once again to all the devotees for coming. I'd like to take special mercy from my father and my mother, because in the Shastra it's written, the mother is the first guru who gives you knowledge, who gives you dhyan. The father is also there. And I'd like to also take blessings from His Grace Murali Bhadra Prabhu, who is the most senior amongst all of us, Prabhupada disciple. So by his mercy, please bless me, Prabhu, that I can speak some little Krishna Katha. Hare Krishna. So this verse 12.8, we're in the beginning of chapter 12. Basically, so there's a set of verses that somebody who's studying Bhagavad-Gita chapter 12 will be focusing on in the beginning. 12.8 to 12.12. We're not covering all the verses obviously. But 12.8 to 12.12, Krishna is now explaining to Arjuna the different levels of bhakti that there are. Right? In the Krishna Consciousness movement, when you first come, we're telling you about and teaching you about Bhakti Yoga, devotional service to Krishna. So Krishna now starts talking about different levels of direct and indirect processes by which we can approach Krishna. So the first set of verses is 12.8, but I'll briefly just touch upon each verse, what they're talking about, and our main focus will be on this verse. So, for those of you who studied Bhagavad-Gita, you know. So like Krishna in this, now he's starting to explain there's 5 levels of different progressive levels of attaining the Lord. 5 or 4? 5, I think 5. So the first 2 are direct processes, and the second 2 are indirect processes. So just quickly touching upon this. This is the first verse Krishna talks about. Krishna talks about the purest stage of bhakti, the most direct type of service that one can do towards Krishna. And then he goes a little bit down, he goes down the ladder based on what we are comfortable doing, based on our level, because we're conditioned in material nature. We're all influenced by the 3 modes of nature. If tomorrow I tell Abhay, just surrender to Krishna, bro, that's it. Just surrender to Krishna, leave everything. You won't be able to do that, because we have so many attachments here and there. So Krishna is so merciful, he's giving us these so many different processes. So this translation, just fix your mind upon me, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and engage all your intelligence in me. Thus you will live in me always without a doubt. So here, this is the first highest level of direct devotional service that one can do unto Krishna, which is to complete surrender unto Krishna. In the Bhagavad-Gita, Krishna is saying, Sarva dharma parityaja mam ekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayasami ma shucha. Just surrender unto me alone, leave all other types of duties, and worship me alone. Like, it's so easy for all of us to do it. So this is actually, that's the highest level of bhakti, to completely surrender oneself to Krishna. Surrender doesn't mean we have to renounce anything. Many times when people think of spirituality, they think of people in orange robes, orange bed sheets, and sitting down for like 6 hours and just meditating on something. They don't know what that something is, some energy or some impersonal form or some personal form, something. But really, surrender means to use everything that we have. Everything that we have, this is called yukta vairagya. It means not to renounce. It means to use everything that we have in the service of Krishna. But the question is also, even if we were to say like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, we have everything, we have family, everything, are we so much surrendered, completely detached? Because surrender also means to be materially detached. You have to be fully quenched. You have to be fully engaged in the beautiful, sweet service of the Lord. We cannot keep any material attachments, because material attachment is making us turn our head away from Krishna. So even if we have everything, cars, house, bank balance, everything, are we really so surrendered that we're using everything for Krishna service? You have to ask that question. That's not the case necessarily for most of us. We still have a lot of material attachments. So, Krishna in the next verse will say, okay, then what you should do. If you're not at that very high pure level of pure bhakti, of pure devotional service, you're not able to fully surrender, okay, then what should you do? Because somebody who's fully surrendered, Krishna says, thus you will live in me always without a doubt, which means that you're acting in a way that Krishna will remember you, right? We say that don't act in a way that you want to see Krishna. You should act in a way that Krishna will want to come down and see you. Hanuman is acting in such a way, completely surrendered, that Lord Ram is always remembering him. He's this very dear sevak, devotee. So this is very tough for us to do. So in the next verse, Krishna talks about, if you're not able to do this, if you're not fully surrendered, I'll give a couple examples, like Haridas Thakur, 192 rounds every day, my God. I mean, so for somebody to chant 192 rounds every day, how much surrender, how much taste someone must have for devotional service. Really, how much taste there is in chanting. And we'll come back to chanting. Prabhupada talks about chanting. It's chanting the holy name, and this is perfect. Another example is Bali Maharaj, completely surrendered. Dhruv Maharaj. The gopis of Vrindavan, complete surrender. There's that famous story, Krishna has a headache. And Narad Muni is there, and Narad Muni asks Krishna, what is the medicine to this headache? What can I do? How can I serve you so that this headache can go away? And Krishna told Narada, go find me the dust of his pure devotees' lotus feet, that will cure me. And he goes all the way, Narad Muni goes everywhere to Vaikuntha, he goes to all the devotees, and all the devotees are not budging, they will not give. I mean, imagine if I ask, if I ask you, Rakmavati Mataji, or if I ask you, Rakta Prabhu, will anyone in this room give the dust of their feet to put on Krishna's head? Who has the guts to do that? This is Krishna we're talking about. He's maintaining my family, my kids, my money, my bank balance, my everything, even how I look, everything. Even I don't want to grow old, I don't want wrinkles, but still all this ointment I'm applying, it's Krishna sanctioned, these ointments are working, so I don't grow old, And me, what am I going to help Krishna? Krishna's helping me. I'm completely surrendered to Krishna. So Narad Muni went everywhere to all these devotees, and no one was budging. But when he asked the devotees of Vrindavan, when he asked the 𝗔𝗯cies, their mood is very special, because they don't see Krishna as God. We're worshipping here Radha Sham Sundar. They don't see, Radharani doesn't think of Krishna as, oh God, and I need to serve him, and I need to wake up in the morning and do arti and this and that. 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., 4 a.m. to 9 p.m. RT and everything in devotional service. No, it's not like that. They just want to enjoy transcendental loving relationship with Krishna. They love Krishna so much, they will do anything. So when Narad Muni asked the gopis, Krishna has a headache. Oh my God, it's like, the gopis had a heart attack. Oh my God, my Krishna has a headache. How will it go away? How will it go away? Please tell us, Devarshi Narad, how will it go away? And Narad Muni says, so basically he wants the dust of his devotees' lotus feet, or feet. And immediately, Radharani, all the gopis, they take their foot, they take any dust, every single dust particle that there is, and they go to Krishna and they put on his head. They give it to Narada Muni to put on Krishna's head, or they put it directly on Krishna's head. The point is, they're so surrendered. The gopis will do anything. The 𝗔𝗯cies, this is their bhav. Their bhav is complete surrender to Krishna. And that's why Krishna is telling us the best approach to attain him is to come to this level of full surrender. Now, if you are not like Haridas Thakur, or if you're not fully surrendered like that, this is eventually the level we have to get to. That's why we're all practicing bhakti. If you cannot do that, then engage yourself in regulative principles of bhakti. Engage yourselves in different active devotional services. Rupa Goswami Prabhupada has given us 64 activities, out of which there's 5 main activities in nectar of instruction, nectar of devotion. Serving the deity, like here. Serving the deity. Many of us have deities installed at our home. We have to change their water. We have to dress them every other Ekadashi or every Ekadashi. We have to offer them food before we accept prasad. Then there's reading Srimad Bhagavatam, because getting that gyan, getting the knowledge is like torchlight in a dark room. It lights us up. When the room is dark, we're very fearful. But when there's a light, we feel safe. We know where we're going. So Srimad Bhagavatam is very important to read Srimad Bhagavatam. Very important to stay in the dham. Many of us, including me, we're not in Vrindavan, we're not in Mahaprema, we're not in the dham, we're in America. And these temples that Prabhupada have set up is like an embassy of Vrindavan, embassy of Mayapur. You come here, the atmosphere we're creating with devotees is supposed to be like Vrindavan in Mayapur. But it's also very important that when we go back home, we're also living in that same mindset. Because at the end of the day, we're cultivating their moods only. We're cultivating the moods of the 𝗷𝗲𝗸𝐷, of the devotees of Sri Vrindavan Dham. So it's very important to always, be in this mood and try to cultivate that devotional attitude of becoming the purest devotee that we can be possible, turning our home into Vrindavan, thinking of Vrindavan. This is a very important point, to be mentally situated in the Dham. And one way to mentally be situated in the Dham is to actually go to the Dham and experience it with other devotees. I know a lot of devotees are going for Kartik Parikrama this time. So you're all very fortunate to do Vraj-Mandal Parikrama. Whoever gets the opportunity to do Vraj-Mandal Parikrama, even a little bit, gari ya chalne ki time, walking or taking a car, it doesn't matter. The fact that you get to do this, especially during the month of Kartik, is very auspicious. It is very auspicious. I have no idea. We have no idea. It is that auspicious. So Dhammas, and then we have Nam Sankirtan, to congregationally chant and dance with the association of devotees. And the last one is Sadhu Sangha. But basically, all of our devotional services that we should do it in the association of devotees as much as possible. So this is what Krishna recommends, that we should engage in devotional service, and like that try to concentrate our intelligence and our mind unto Krishna. And like that our material attachment will slowly go away, and slowly we'll come to the platform of slowly surrendering. Now these two are indirect paths. Direct paths. Excuse me. They're direct paths. Surrender, or if you're not able to fully surrender, that's fine. If you're not able to fully surrender, if you're not able to fully surrender, then you engage in devotional services, other devotional activities. If you can't do that, then Krishna says, whatever occupational duties you're engaged in, offer the fruits, whatever fruits you're getting from your result of acting in your occupational duty, you should offer that to Krishna. At least offer that. But many times we're not even ready to offer that. We also want to enjoy. I'm doing a 9-to-5 job, I'm working so hard to get a promotion, this, that, so many things. And then Krishna's telling me, surrender all my fruits, surrender all the fruits that I get from my job, surrender all the results to Krishna. Ye kya hai, Baba? What is this? So much surrender Krishna's demanding, my God. It's like every level he's demanding surrender. At least surrender please just surrender everything, just become detached to it. Because the main principle is to become detached. Because if you're doing bhakti, the fire of material life, you have the fire of material life, and then you're also spraying that material, burning material desires with the water of bhakti. But the fire is continuing to go on, and at the same time you're still putting more fire. You're not really making progress, because you're doing bhakti, but at the same time you're also doing your job. But are you actually practicing that principle of detachment? Are you practicing that principle of detachment? Otherwise, we're doing bhakti, but then we're also doing material things. Because many times we do our regular job and everything, and we don't think about it so much that we have to do this for Krishna. I'm doing it for Krishna. And because that thought is not there, we're doing something for Krishna. Hence, that seva bhav towards Krishna that we're supposed to have during doing our material activities is not there. Hence, our progress towards detachment is a little bit slowed down. So Krishna, the main principle is to become detached from material things and become attached to Krishna. So that's why Krishna is demanding that even your occupational duties, whatever you do, you should surrender that to me. Okay, you cannot surrender everything, at least surrender a little bit, right? We say devotees, whatever money they're earning from their job, they're using it for Krishna's service. If somebody's good at any service, they're doing that. Any occupational job can be used in Krishna's service. Now, if you cannot do that, then Krishna says, all right, at least whatever you're earning, whatever benefit you're getting from your job, at least put it to a good cause. Make hospitals, give it to charitable organizations, do something good with the money that you have. Because also, there's a lot of people out there who they're working jobs, they're working, they're getting money, they're getting everything, but at the same time, their bigger goal is in something else. It's in something else they want to do, like maybe help the environment or build hospitals or something like that. That way, they're caring less for themselves and caring more for others. So this is actually a very good principle to have. And naturally, by having this principle of doing good to others in a good way, not Krishna conscious, direct, devotional way, what's happening, as Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, is that there's a purification of the mind is happening. Your mind is slowly being purified because you're accumulating good karma, good karma, good karma. Eventually, by coming to the higher modes of passion and goodness, you will develop the intelligence to actually surrender to the direct process of serving Krishna. And this is a very important point. Because many people, they come, they hear Krishna Katha, we tell them what they should do, we should chant Hare Krishna, associate with devotees, but still many times, we're very much attached to our work and everything. And even if we're working and we're getting income and all that, even whatever, if you want to give something to Krishna from our work, we may not be ready to do that either. But if we say, hey, we're building hospitals, or we want to save the environment, or you care so much about animals, you want to shut down slaughterhouses, please give us your money, give us something for that good cause. Oh, Krishna says, okay, you do that then. And eventually you will develop the intelligence to then come to me, to then slowly start surrendering to me fully. Now, out of these stages, the most practical stage for us, for most of us, we are doing direct devotional service, and at the same time, whatever job occupation we're doing outside, we're going out and working. As much as possible, as much as our conditioning is allowing us to, we are able to use that in Krishna's service. So we're kind of between the second and the third, because we're not able to completely, give up. We have to work, we have to hustle, everything is there. But most of us, we are engaged in direct devotional service. We're coming to the temple, Gaurati, listening to lecture, prashadam, Bhakti Vriksha programs, everything. All that is going on. Now someone may ask, sorry, 6:52. Someone may ask, why bhakti? Why bhakti? Many new people in the world will ask, what are you guys doing this bhakti yoga? I know this yoga, that yoga. I do yoga before playing basketball. I stretch, I do all my neck exercises. I do yoga before playing basketball too. What is this yoga you're doing? I never heard of yoga and this external, abstract looking, activities that you guys are doing that seem so religious and ritualistic. What yoga are you guys doing? This bhakti yoga is very special. And actually, Arjuna asks this question to Krishna. He asks, Krishna, what is better, bhakti yoga or all these other paths of yoga? And specifically, they're talking about in the end of chapter 11, beginning of chapter 12, they're talking about Arjun's asking if impersonal Brahman, the path to attaining impersonal Brahman is better. Because honestly, if you go outside anywhere, the Krishna Conscious movement, if you go outside of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, a lot of the teachings that you will find, their main goal is just the impersonal feature of the Lord. If we've heard anything about spirituality, at least before coming to Krishna Consciousness, we may have heard that, yes, at the end of the day, mukti is everything, liberation is everything, all, effulgent Brahman, aham brahmasmi, I am Brahman, me. What's inside this body and what's outside the body is the same. Once this body is gone, then what's inside and what's outside merge. I am also God. I have to merge to the impersonal Brahman. This is the main goal of the Brahmavadis, of many spiritualists. And Arjuna is asking, Krishna, is that better or bhakti? And Krishna is saying bhakti, obviously. We won't stress so much about why bhakti is better and all that. Bhakti is basically better because it is our eternal constitutional position. The soul is eternal. Krishna says, Nitya Nityanam, we are eternal part and parcels of Krishna. So there is no way that we can even merge into Krishna. Radhesham 𝗦𝗽𝗲𝗁 Prabhupada ki jai. Many people are trying to attain that level of spiritual realization where basically God is a light, God is an effulgence, it's this energy and I need to merge into that effulgence energy. But Krishna is not recommending that because it is a very strenuous process. It requires years and years and years of practice to achieve only a small certain level amount of that realization or progress to merge into Brahman. And you cannot even merge into Brahman because the soul is eternal. Your soul existed before, existing now, and it's going to exist after you leave the body. So one Vaishnava says, just like, anyone who's intelligent will know that when a plane goes into the clouds, the plane doesn't merge with the clouds. They're two completely different substances, components. So similarly, even if it looks like the soul is merged into Brahman, the soul still remains as an individual. It doesn't merge into anything. But the problem is in Brahman, there's no attributes, there's no qualities, there's no concept of serving Krishna. We're all serving somebody here because that's the natural inclination of the soul. So we have to serve Krishna, not just merge into Brahman and be like, it's so blissful. Yeah, it is blissful, but for how long will you continue to relish that bliss? How long? Because it's not our constitutional position. So naturally, like Prabhupada has said so many times, the soul will fall down. Or if you're mercy, like after an infinite amount of years, by Krishna's causeless mercy, Krishna may bring that soul up higher to the spiritual world, and that soul may start serving. But it is just, you see how confusing it is? This is going to Brahman and whatnot. It's so confusing. Exactly, the exact philosophy itself is so confusing. Just do bhakti. You're the spirit soul. You have an eternal relationship with Krishna. You're serving everyone here. If you think you're not serving anyone, then you're ultimately serving your senses. I'm serving my tongue for sure, because I love Maggi noodles. I love every single type of Maggi noodles. You want to eat the best Maggi noodles, you come to my house, by the way. Okay? I love Maggi noodles. I love Chinese, love Italian. I want to be Italian chef when I go. I'm serving my tongue. I love watching movies. I'm serving my eyes. I love listening to music. I'm serving my ears. So I have to serve my kids. I have to serve my wife. I have to serve this. I have to serve that. I'm serving my parents. I have to serve my grandchildren. My children are going to leave their grandchildren at my house to take care of, and they're going to be busy working. I have to serve them. So I thought I was retired, but now I got another responsibility. So responsibility never stops. Service never stops. And even during the time of death, when you get really close to old age, because we were so active our whole life, we still have the desire to serve, to do something, to continue to move. But our body doesn't allow us to do that. We're kind of stuck in this body because our body was not at that prime level where it was before. So even in our old age, we still have the desire to serve or do something, but we're not able to do it. And then the soul will leave the body, it'll get a new body, and like this, the cycle continues again and again and again. Never-ending process. Unless you do Krishna consciousness and serve Krishna, who is Rishikesha. He's the master of all the senses. And when we serve Krishna, and when we satisfy Krishna's senses, naturally, our senses will also become satisfied. Many people talk about stress. What stress they are. Oh my God, what anxiety, and my boss. You know what my boss did today? I worked 2 years straight for one project. 2 years straight for one project. And at the end of the project, he gave a higher bonus to the guy who joined last week, who was my colleague. He gave more of a bonus to that person who joined last week than me. I worked everything off. I worked my brain out. I put my blood and sweat and tears into this project. At the end of the day, look what happened. I didn't get what I wanted. Stress and anxiety and depression and all these things happen. Why? Because people don't know. They don't have the knowledge why this actually happens. It is because they themselves don't know the definition of success. They don't know the definition of happiness. When you don't know the definition of happiness, then naturally what you're doing may or may not, and we look at the world is going downhill. Really, the world is going downhill. First Russia and Ukraine, and now Hamas attacked Israel. All this stress, all this anxiety, why? Even the consciousness where did this consciousness, this Hamas terrorist group, where did they get that consciousness from? How did they end up as demoniac people in the first place? Because of their activities. It's in their consciousness. Why? Because of their activities. The activities that belong to the modes of passion and ignorance. Because they're completely engaged in sense gratification. It's all about I. And we see this with any group, and anyone, terrorist group, non-terrorist group, anyone who seems like human being, but is engaging in breaking all these 4 regulative principles, not controlling their senses. Prabhupada says, once you follow these 4 regulative principles, then you've come to the standard of being a human being. Being a human being, that's it. You've not attained Krishna Prema. We're so fallen. Not Krishna Prema. Oh my gosh. Not even Krishna, not bhakti, you've become a human being. Just when you start following these 4 regulative principles. So really, the more we gratify our senses, the more we get entangled in lust and greed and anger, the more we satisfy lust. We want something so bad, if we don't get it, then we become angry. And if we get it, we become more greedy. Dono way hum log har jayenge. So where are we going? It seems like we're becoming happy, but at the end of the day, we're becoming more frustrated. There's one African American person who recently started coming to our sound bath, and he's slowly getting into Krishna consciousness. He said that when I first heard the Hare Krishna mantra, complete, like doesn't know anything about Krishna, didn't know who God is, knows nothing. He said when I first heard the Hare Krishna mantra, I started crying. I didn't know what it was, but I just started crying because I had no idea what I was listening to. I didn't know nothing about it. I didn't know what this Hare Krishna Rama is, but I just started crying. And personal philosophy is so dry. Don't listen to that, Baba. It's so dry. You will discuss philosophy. It's so dry. This Hare Krishna Mahamantra is so sweet. The name, the pastimes, the form, the qualities of the Lord, they're so sweet, so madhur. Madhura mridanga bhaje paramarasala. We sing this in Gujarati. This month, okay, let me read. Shankha bhaje ganta bhaje karotal. Madhura mridanga bhaje paramarasal. The mardonas are being played, the kirtans are being played, everyone's dancing in ecstasy. Haribo, Jai Radhe. They're chanting all these names of the Lord. Govinda, Hari Harai Namah Krishna, Yadavai Namaha. They're chanting all these mantras from Shastra. They're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So madhur, so sweet. Krishna is giving us this opportunity. And we will experience that sweetness when we stop serving our own senses and engage our senses in devotional service. To serve Krishna, to satisfy Krishna's senses. Now we get to the purport. For just 5 more minutes, now we get to the purport. I'm going to skip to the purport really quick. Once we understand that the problem is actually I and me and mine, and I'm trying to satisfy my senses so much, after being unsatiated and after not being content with everything that we've done, we look for truth. We understand Krishna's Supreme Personality of Godhead, and we start to learn more about Krishna. And what does Prabhupada say in the purport? One who is engaged in Lord Krishna's devotional service lives in a direct relationship with the Supreme Lord. So there's no doubt that his position is transcendental from the very beginning, right? Like I said, because we're constitutionally Krishna's servant, naturally, we are bound to one day go back home back to Godhead and serve Krishna. And we're bound to one day achieve Krishna Prema, because that's the eternal constitutional nature of the soul. I love this example. I guess I'll give myself credit for it. But anyone can say, when you first saw your husband or you first saw your wife, ye wala hai, and your friend's like, hey, your friend tells your other friend that, hey, I think he finally found his soulmate, finally. You first see your boyfriend, girlfriend during that time, whatever. You first see him or her, and you suddenly, there's this attraction that just clicks. And it's such a strong attachment. People spend their whole night texting her or texting him. They forget about time. Completely sarva dharmam parityaja. Completely engaged in the service of the beloved, of the better half. Completely, look at the standard. They don't, 4 a.m. or 9 p.m. doesn't matter. It's dark outside, I'm with her. It doesn't matter. They're completely surrendered. You're in work, you're in college, you're thinking about the evening, I'm going to go out on a date with her, and you just keep on thinking about her. Why? Because there's a strong, deep-rooted attachment for your soulmate, for your better half. Now imagine, that is so strong. This actually, in the material world, it's lust. But that lust is so powerful, so strong, it binds you. And when you're with your beloved, you lose all intelligence, right? We see sometimes people, they're kissing, right? At least from outside Indian nationalities, American and all that. You'll go to amusement parks and here and there, and they're just kissing and they're just hugging each other and they're just looking at each other. Completely they don't care what's going on. They're completely aloof of the world. The real world doesn't exist to them at that point. Doesn't exist. So much attachment. That drives everything. Because of that, I love her or I love him. Then you need a car, then you need an insurance plan, you need to go to the right doctor, you need your house, you have to pay taxes because of that, and then everything starts, all your whole life planning starts. Why? Because usse pyar ho gaya. Wow, kya baat hai? Everything starts straight from there. Tujhe dekha, I don't know any Hindi songs. I'm just making up lyrics. I don't know any songs. But imagine that same thing, what you're experiencing in your heart, that love or lust. Imagine you start experiencing that in its pure form. You experience that love for Krishna. अगर इतना हो रहा है तेरा लड़की के साथ या लड़का के साथ, तो कृष्णा के साथ क्या होगा? My God. You see, people are like, it's so cool, man. One day what he told me before he came to Krishna Consciousness, that Prabhuji actually, एक बार पिया था, लेकिन मजा आया. It was actually nice, But we're giving you a higher intoxication coming into Krishna consciousness. The Mahaprabhu is dancing and chanting the more you chant Hare Krishna, okay, the holy name of the Lord are non-different. The holy name of the Lord and the Lord are not different. Therefore, when a devotee chants Hare Krishna, Krishna and his internal potency, Srimati Radharani, are dancing on the tongue of the devotee. And the more one starts to chant their name, they will chant their name in its pure form. In that pure form, you have such a sweetness for chanting. You have such a high intoxicated taste for chanting their name. It doesn't matter what anyone says. Hey, Bhagwan, ye kya, puja, paan, ye sab kar rahe ho tum log. No, that doesn't matter. You know God exists. Here in Krishna Conscious Movement, we don't believe in Krishna. We know Krishna is there for a fact. Because it's scientific, it's logical, it's rational. We have everything we need. Prabhupada, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj, Baladev. For the new people, I may be just spitting names out. Like, you may not have any idea what I'm saying. But, people say, Bhagwan kisne dekha Bhagwan ko? Who saw Krishna? Who saw Radharani? Who saw Balram? Who saw 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏? Who saw them? These guys, they have all realized. Not only have they seen, they have realized they're not this body, they're the spirit soul. And spirit soul means what? You have a spiritual body that doesn't decay. SNA, you're reading a book, paper cut lag gaya, suddenly you start bleeding. No, all this doesn't happen. Diseases, old age, death, this doesn't happen in a spiritual body. You're enjoying with Krishna an ever blissful body. Krishna Satchidananda Vigraha. You're also a Satchidananda Vigraha because we're his part and parcel. Imagine the intoxication. Mahaprabhu says like, Haribol, Hare Krishna. Externally, drunkards and Mahaprabhu are acting the same way, but internally it's completely different mood. Mahaprabhu is experiencing something completely pure. And how does one experience this pure Krishna Prema, this pure love? It is by eating Krishna Prasad, Haribol. Everyone loves Prasad. Who doesn't love Prasad? That's the next point Prabhupada is making. When the devotee, when he offers Krishna food, Krishna directly accepts these eatables and the devotee becomes Krishna-ized by eating the remnants. It is actually very important, dear devotees, that we honor Krishna Prasad and take Krishna Prasad very, very, very seriously because we're honoring Radha and Krishna there. Radha Krishna Gunagav Sena Mritapav. Radha Krishna Gunagav Sena Mritapav. Premadakushi Chaitanya Nitai. By eating Krishna Prasad and by offering it to 𝗲𝗏𝗏𝗏, by their mercy, we're going to get this prema for eternally serving Radha and Krishna. Just imagine, I have to go back to that same point. Can you imagine how amazing it would be to feel that love in your heart? I wake up in the morning some days, 9 a.m. aram se. I mean, if I even had a drop of that, I would be up 2:30, 3 o'clock. They're devotees, they can't sleep past 3 o'clock. They can't sleep past 3 o'clock because they've experienced a drop of that nectar. They wake up, they wake up, we will wake up, if we wake up and we have an appointment with our girlfriend, she's going to beat us up if we go late. Boyfriend will be like, yaar, वापस late हो गया, शादी के बाद भी ऐसा same होगा क्या, Those devotees, they wake up and immediately take shower, get ready, they go in front of Krishna because Krishna is called, Mangalarti is happening, the shank is blowing, Krishna wants to see. Every day, so many devotees, they wake up for Mangalarti. Like, why do we wake up for Mangalarti? To do like eye-goggling exercises? No, Krishna is there to check us out, to see if you're serious, to want that highest treasure that he's willing to give. And devotees have gotten a drop of that. That's why they can't resist. Once they get up, they have to get up and start chanting because when you go taste, chanting come. They've gotten that taste. And the more you get that taste, you'll eventually get to the platform of Krishna Prema, like I've said so many times in this lecture. And that Krishna Prema, so many people, they look at horoscopes, they wear this ring, they wear this necklace, Shanika Dasha ho gaya, sleep in the south, sleep in the north, this, that. When you have Krishna Prema, none of this matters. You don't have to do any of this. Krishna Prema is so high. If somebody can find me anything in our Vedic literature that is considered higher than Krishna Prema, I will give up all my spiritual practices. All of them. Last. Guru ko bhi tyag dunga. And I will not Guru, that'll never happen. But I'm that confident, that much faith, Nishtha. There's nothing higher than bhakti, devotional service to Krishna. And what Krishna is giving us, there's nothing better for Krishna to give us than Krishna Prema. Even a drop of taste in chanting, there's nothing greater than that. So when you chant and dance in Gaurarti, or when you join the Zoom call to do your japas, Prabhupada said 99.9% of your devotional service is done through chanting the holy name. So this holy name is very, very powerful. No other mantra, facts, is as powerful as this mantra. Because it's so sweet, it's so madhur, it's so beautiful. And to help this, one needs to have proper consciousness also. By doing devotional service, our consciousness will become purified. And prasadam helps our consciousness become purified. Because many people don't know, if I go to honest and the guy cooking, if that guy just broke up, if that guy just divorced with his wife, this guy has so much tension, so much stress, and he's cooking me food. Food may be great, but his consciousness is entering my consciousness. What he's feeling is getting into my consciousness, and that may affect me. Next morning, I may not be able to wake up. My consciousness of remembering Krishna, I may not be so consistent. It can affect me. It can affect me. So if you love going to restaurants, don't go to restaurants where they cook non-veg. Please, this is the humble request of all senior Vaishnavas. If you love going to restaurants, don't go to a restaurant where in the same kitchen they cook non-veg food. I don't know, some of you saw my status. I posted some things about slaughterhouse and all of that, and how some of the animals die in the truck going to the slaughterhouse before they even get slaughtered. One guy was working, he was looking for a job, but where he lived, he could only get a slaughterhouse job. So he had to get that job because he needed money. He was saying that, I see fear in these animals. The plate is right there and they're running away. They're running away. They don't want to die. They don't want to die. And because there's no concept of karma, people think I'll get away with stealing. No. No one might have seen all the wrongdoings you've done, but the sun has seen, the moon has seen, Paramatma in the heart has seen. You will not get away unless you atone for it, unless you really pray to Krishna. I'm sorry, Krishna. That's such a sinful life. We're not ready to receive your pure love. Bichare animals, That's why, please don't eat in restaurants where they serve non-veg and veg in the same place. Just go to a pure veg restaurant if you have to eat outside. Go to a pure veg restaurant, completely pure veg. No, vegan is also good, but in vegan, you don't get many animalic options. That's better, but the best thing is just cook prasadam. Learn how to cook prasadam. Offer it to your deities. Even if you offer it to a picture or a murti that you have at home that's not installed, is fine. Even you offer it to Guru Parampara, that's also fine. And you will see the experience. You will get the experience. What you're finding here in this, I don't know how much square foot this center is. What you're finding here in this room, you won't find anywhere outside. I was born in this country. I went to elementary school. I was homeschooled for 2 years, kindergarten, first grade, so that's pretty irrelevant, whatever. Elementary school, middle school, high school. I've seen everyone. I've seen everything. I've seen all my friends. They were good kids. And what they've turned into by the end of their grade when they were in high school, and now college. My God. Thank you, Srila Prabhupada, for giving us Krishna consciousness. Prabhupada ki. Really. And we feel so bad now the war is going on in Israel. Those bichare log, where do they have? On one side they have Israel, who is the enemy, and the other side they have the sea. Where are they going to go? Israel said, we are going to teach you a lesson that the world has never seen before. That's how powerful Israel is. Because Adolf Hitler, he made the Jews suffer like hell, suffer. And Israelis don't ever want to go through that again in their history. So now, you just see the war that's happening. Ukraine, Russia is continuing to happening. There's always talks about India-Pak World War, India-Pak War, and then World War III if USA interferes and China will interfere. We don't know what's going to happen. But Prabhupada did make one prophecy. There will be a time where unemployment will be off the roof. No one will be able to find jobs. There will be such scarcity of food. The only thing that they can do is to move to rural areas and become self-sufficient. This time will come. And those who are very sharp, very intelligent, senior devotees in the movement, astrologers, they know when this time will come. They can give a rough approximate. This time will come, where majority of the people will have to leave cities, and they'll have to go to rural areas, and they'll have to live on their own, grow their own food, be completely self-sustainable, off the grid. This time will come. That's why Prabhupada also stressed so much the importance of Varnashram Dharma. Right now, farm communities, many devotees are not living, but soon here, these places, the New York City, Atlanta especially, a lot of people aren't going to stay there for long. So this is Kali Yuga. People think that we're advancing. We're not advancing. Just look at the consciousness of people. What things people do on the internet, watch on the internet. What things people, they don't even realize they're eating chicken and it's so simple. They don't get tears in their eyes. They don't feel compassionate. They're taking intoxications. You don't understand what you're doing to your body. Your body is meant to serve Krishna. And then, they're taking intoxication. So all these things are there. By doing bhakti yoga, by engaging in direct devotional service of the Lord, continue your job. Whatever you get from your job, use it as much as possible in Krishna service. Associate with the devotees. Come to the center. Do bhakti yoga. Engage in devotional services, and your mind will become purified, and the intelligence will come. We all have intelligence here. But people who unfortunately don't have Krishna consciousness, even they can have intelligence. They'll develop intelligence by chanting Hare Krishna. Because that's how powerful the holy name is. So when we finally get Krishna Prema and reach that highest, topmost level, then thus you will live in me always without a doubt. We're also always living in Krishna without a doubt. But we will also be able to experience what Krishna is feeling for us, because Krishna wants to give you Krishna Prema more than you want it. And we're talking about Krishna. Somebody else who sits on this Vyasasana, they start talking about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, you may start crying how merciful Krishna in his form of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is. And you may completely break down if a devotee with so much bhav starts explaining the beautiful pastimes and the beautiful compassion and mercy of Balaram's incarnation in Kali Yuga as Lord Nityananda. So please take what you have here seriously. Please engage in Bhakti Yoga. Please follow the principles of Bhagavad-Gita. We will honor Prasad, because it's one of the most important activities of a lot of us, including me, to practice devotional service. So thank you so much. I know I went 15 minutes over time. Please excuse me. I hope you were able to take something out from today's lecture. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So anybody has any questions, comment?
Maybe we can take just one small question, and then afterwards, if I just go, and then afterwards, because even I'm hungry.
I have a comment and a question. My comment is that Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says two things in his purport to this verse. One is he said the word in the first line, the word Eva specifically means not only impersonal. And the second thing in the second line, my Buddhya Niveshaya, that you not only have to engage your mind, he says, but you have to use your intelligence. Specifically, he says that means by discernment of the scriptures, because that will teach us how to meditate on Krishna. Now my question. You explained very nicely that there are 4 different stages that are described, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and 5 different stages that you can be at. So you have to put yourself in the stage that you're at, and then you make progress. So my question is, I don't know about everybody else, but we have a tendency to do as little as possible. So then we will choose a stage that maybe we could do more at. What's to prevent us from just choosing the lowest possible stage for ourselves?
Thank you, Prabhuji, so much for your question. Prabhuji already knows the answer, by the way. just putting it out there. Why not just pick the stage where I'm getting money. I don't know if God exists, but I know this hospital funding or this fund trust and these charitable organizations are there. I see them my own 2 eyes, so why not just put money there, just put whatever I'm earning from my job, invest it there, because that's also bhakti in one sense. So that's indirectly bhakti. It is not completely directly serving the Lord. It is indirectly serving the Lord, because at the end of the day, everything belongs to the Lord. But you tell me, would you rather just go to a 4-year university, get your degree, and get a job like this, or do a course with Google, get some certificate, and get your job like this? Or you want to do some path that may take such a long time, and then finally you'll get a job? What do you want to do? You want to do something that's authorized, that very quickly will give you a job. So directly engaging in the service of the Lord has stronger power to purify our mind and to give us Krishna Prema. It is stronger, it is more powerful, because you're directly in touch with the Supreme Lord. But if you take the indirect process, if you just want to give, you don't even want to chant Hare Krishna, but you want to give little bit, just little money, or little bit you want to help out with whatever you're getting from your job, you want to help out a little bit, or you just want to, like Prabhu said, just give money, or just give out whatever you have in your possession for the benefit of some other material, good organization. That is fine, but the point is, it will take a very, very, very long time.
Not only a long time, but there's every chance that you won't go farther.
Correct. There's every chance you won't go farther. And you're also delaying. Delaying, and you may not go very far. You're accumulating a lot of good karma, but how much spiritual credit are you accumulating? It'll be a long time until you get a drop of taste for chanting the holy name. So therefore, the best thing to do is to chant the Lord's holy name, do direct devotional activities of bhakti. At the same time, continue your job. Best thing to do.
Krishna Prabhu. So it's about two different indirect services that you mentioned. Right? And the first one is offering food to deities and then take it.
So chanting the holy name and offering food to deities, these are all just a few activities out of multiple activities which are directly serving the Lord. So Prabhupada talks about holy name, which is the most important, and also prasad, because we have to intake food. So Prabhupada is saying we have to offer the food to Krishna. But there's many more. The point is doing direct devotional activities.
So at our home also we can chant the name and then serve the food, right?
Yeah.
To deities. And
Yeah.
the last one is
Whatever food you make, without onion, garlic, 𝗃𝐸𝐴𝐵, 𝗃𝐸𝐴𝐵, you make that. Offer to a picture of Krishna. You know, my Lord, please accept this. If you know the prasadam, the bhoga offering prayers, you can say that too. If you want to find that, you can ask any devotee here. And then you can accept the food and honor it at prasad. And if you have tulsi, put tulsi on the bhoga offering.
And last one is just helping others. The last indirect process is just helping others.
Yeah, so just helping us. So suppose you know, the point is to do good things. Doing good things and doing transcendental devotional activities are different things, right? Because I mean, Tom Holland or Badshah may be doing a lot of good things. Anyone, you take Amitabh Bachchan, Kaun Banega Crorepati. You know, he's giving so many rupees, so many money to people.